Right. Welcome back to the broadcast, everybody. Today we've got something pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at Rebecca Black's new album, Salvation.
Uh-huh.
I've got 3 reviews in front of me.
Oh, cool.
And, I think this is a really cool opportunity to see how she's maybe pushing her artistry forward.
Yeah.
What are critics saying about this new album? So, I think we all know
Right.
Rebecca
Yeah.
Black from Friday.
Yeah, of course.
And now it seems like she's making kind of a
Oh, yeah.
big departure with Salvation. What do you see?
I think these reviews are calling it a total departure, almost a rebirth as an artist.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. It seems like they're all kind of coalescing around this idea that it's a much more mature and introspective work.
Yeah, definitely.
Like WV News says, it delves into these romantic anxieties and this yearning for self-acceptance.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I mean, it's not just teenage fluff anymore, like you were saying.
Yeah.
It's interesting. One review even highlights how Salvation tackles this idea of the fear of commitment. And it uses this really powerful imagery of drowning to express the anxiety of, getting in too deep in a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Which I thought was really striking.
That's some pretty heavy stuff.
Heavy stuff.
Musically, do you think? Is she still doing that, like bubblegum pop?
Not really.
Okay.
The album blends elements of hyperpop,
Yeah.
which I don't know if you're familiar with that genre, but it's known for, the super high-pitched vocals and the really intense electronic production.
Yeah.
But she's bringing in like a smoother 90s R&B vibe as well, which I think is really creating this cool kind of creating a lot of buzz.
Yeah, it sounds like she's really experimenting and trying to
absolutely
push things forward. So specifically, though, what are the critics saying about her growth?
Well, I mean, like the WV News review, they mentioned her vocals being haunting. Do you hear that at all?
I think I do.
Okay.
It's definitely a different feel from, Friday. I think there's a vulnerability there, almost an ethereal quality.
Yeah.
Especially on tracks like Lost.
Exactly. And Derek points out that the lyrics are, darker, more introspective than her previous work, which I think really shows that depth, that maturity in her songwriting.
Totally, yeah. And I think it's worth pointing out she co-wrote all but one song on the album.
Right, yeah.
Which seems like a powerful statement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it really does. One reviewer even called Salvation like a bold statement of self-discovery, which I think really, really captures the overall feeling from the critics.
Yeah, I think that's really spot on. Were there any reviews that weren't glowing, though? Any dissenting voices?
It's interesting. There were a few like minor criticisms about, certain specific musical choices.
Okay.
But overall the reception's been like overwhelmingly positive.
Okay, so it seems like the overall consensus is that this is a good album.
Really good.
So big takeaways then for our listeners.
I think first and foremost, critics are recognizing Rebecca Black's like massive growth as a musician.
Yeah.
It's a huge evolution from her viral past. Salvation is being praised for its artistic merit, not just its like shock value or, anything like that.
It's not just a gimmick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the real deal.
So if you're interested in seeing how artists can redefine themselves and mature musically, this album is definitely worth checking out.
Totally agree.
It might challenge your preconceived notions about Rebecca Black and what she's capable of.
I think it also raises an interesting question for me. Can an artist's early viral fame ever truly be separated from their later work?
Right.
Or does it always become like part of their artistic narrative?
Yeah.
It's something to think about.
That's a great point. And we want to hear from you. So give Salvation a listen. Let us know what you think about Black's musical evolution. Thanks for joining us on this broadcast, and we'll see you next time.